it is Ken. I am getting back on the vlog train. It's been quite a minute. As of today, July 1st, I am exactly 6 weeks postpartum. But I have been slacking with my vlogs. I took a little bit of a break, but I did just want to come back and kind of update you guys. I apologize now if you hear little mumbles. That would be my son, and I also have Moana playing in the background because he really likes the music in movies. And if you hear any loud bangs, it will be the neighbors upstairs, so ignore that as well. But anyways, I have a lot of stuff written down just to kind of update you guys, and then I will introduce you to my son, and I will finally reveal his name. But let's get into it. So the last week that I left off on was week 38, so I will start at week 39. In week 39, I was still having Braxton Hicks. I was having some really bad back pain, could barely sleep at night. Heartburn was starting to not be so bad. It would mainly only come at night when I laid down in bed. This week I did have high blood pressure at my doctor's appointment, so they did have me come back in a week after to get that all looked at once again. I was also experiencing some nausea, and of course the water retention was just absolutely horrible. But all in all, week 39 I felt really good. I was getting really anxious to meet him, and he just took his old sweet time. Week 40, I went to my appointment on week 40. I had a little bit of high blood pressure, but it wasn't anything to worry about. My due date came and passed, so we did end up, when I went to my doctor's appointment, we set up a induction date, which was going to be for Monday, May 18th. I was supposed to be at the hospital at 7 p.m. They did strip my membranes at this appointment, but I was not dilated whatsoever, but I was 50% effaced. And during this week I was getting a little bit of nausea, not much of an appetite as I normally would, and also my stretch marks really burned. But that is pretty much it for week 40. So now I'll kind of get into my induction, labor and delivery real quick. So May 18th I went in to the hospital at 7 p.m. Got settled in. They started me, I believe it's Cytotec, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's just a medication to kind of help soften your cervix. And they had me take that every 3 hours throughout the whole entire night. And then on May 19th at 9:30 a.m. they started inducing me. I can't remember what that medication is called either that they used for that. I should have written it down, but when you're in there you just don't think about the little things like that. Anyways, so when I woke up I was maybe a centimeter dilated on the 19th, but my cervix did soften up enough. By 11:30 in the morning I was 2 centimeters dilated, 2 to 3 centimeters dilated, let me correct that, and 70% effaced. By 2 p.m. contractions were getting pretty frequent and getting a lot stronger. My personal reflection on my labor, I will definitely tell you, I feel like I did a really good job. I did really good at breathing and trying to relax and distract myself for the most part. But they were getting stronger right around 2 p.m. I think it was right around 3 o'clock that I did ask for some IV medications just to kind of ease the nerves and everything and maybe catch some sleep. I can't remember what that was called either, so I apologize now. Once I kind of woke up from my nap, I didn't actually nap. I closed my eyes because the medication made me feel really nauseous and dizzy and pretty out of it for the most part. But anyways, they had me start using the peanut ball. And then I want to say right around 5 o'clock, I started bouncing on the ball for at least an hour, I believe. By 5 o'clock, I was 7 centimeters dilated and 90% effaced. And I think they broke my water at this time. Once they broke the water, my contractions kind of got to be almost unbearable, but I wanted to push my body as far as I could for the most part. So I hung in there for quite a while. I want to say it was like 9:30 that I was 8.5 to 9 centimeters dilated. I was 100% effaced at this time. I was starting to have really, really bad pain from the contractions, and I finally made the decision to get the epidural because it was my last chance to get it if I wanted it. They were worried that I was going to be too tired by the time I needed to push because of how long I was in labor. So I did cave. I got the epidural, and that is a godsend, let me tell you. It doesn't, cover all the pain in it, but I mean, it's different between every single person is what they had told me. So I'm not going to speak for other people, but at least for me, it really didn't make me feel the contractions. But once he started lowering, I want to say it was probably closer to like midnight, 11:30 at night that I got up to go to the bathroom after getting the epidural. And I felt like I really had to, like, TMI, I felt like I really had to poop. I had a lot of pressure down there. I was in tears because my contractions were literally every 2 minutes and they were really, really strong. The epidural wasn't helping them anymore as much. Just because of all the pressure down there, and they said that that is normal. Some people, they won't feel any of that pressure, but unfortunately I did. So they wanted me to get up before being checked again to see if I could use the restroom, because they thought I was getting close to being able to push by this time, right around midnight. Well, by that time when they got me into the bathroom to go to the bathroom, it was probably 12:30. And I could not go to the bathroom. I tried with all of my might, and it just would not come out. So they did end up having to empty my bladder themselves with a catheter, which I did not feel at all. I really worked myself up when they were doing it just because I was really nervous. But I did not feel that at all. And once they emptied the bladder, they took a look, and I was 10 centimeters and getting ready to be able to push. They could actually see his head at that point. So they wanted me to start pushing, which I was really, really happy about. So on May 20th is the day that I gave birth. I started pushing, I want to say probably right around 1 o'clock, in between 1 o'clock and, I want to say 1 o'clock and 1:05. I pushed, and in 20 minutes, so at 1:26 a.m., my son was born. It's crazy to think that I pushed them out in 20 minutes. It was super fast. The pushing part was kind of a breeze for me. And I do have a video of me, you know, giving birth to him. I will mainly only show the part of when they set him on my chest just because of my own personal preference. Just randomly makes noises and coughs all the time. But anyways, he was born at 1:26 in the morning. He was 8 pounds, 14 ounces. He was 22 inches long. His head was 14 inches and his shoulders were 13.5 inches. So he was a really big boy. He did have a head full of hair, which is why I had all the heartburn. Thank goodness. And after I had passed the placenta, they said that they needed to stitch me up. So they wouldn't tell me how many stitches or anything like that, but they did tell me I had a second degree tear. And if you don't know what that means, it means that you not only like tore, you know, your vagina, but you also tore the vaginal muscles. So it took a little bit of healing time, which was great. So they did all of that. He did, when they broke the water, he did poop in the sack. So when the water came out, it was more tinged with like a brownish color in it. So they knew he pooped, so they had to have a special team come in to suction him, make sure that he was all good to go, which he was. And it was finally time for me to get up, to get clean, go to the bathroom if I needed to. And one of the nurses helped me. She just got soap all over, you know, a washcloth and helped like wash my body. And I sat there and washed my face just because I was so exhausted. My labor lasted about 16 and a half hours, so I was ready to go to bed at that point. I was super excited it was here, but I was just exhausted by this point. During the cleanup, I was washing my face and I got really nauseous, so she walked me back to the bed and had me lay down for a little bit. She got me some cold rags, got me one of the green puke bags just in case I got sick. And I probably lay there, I want to say half an hour before I felt ready to move rooms. And she had put me into a wheelchair at that point. And I got nauseous again, so she had to wait there for 5 minutes and I was good to go. She took me to the new room and all was good there. He did latch on right away when he had came out. He started sucking on his hand. So that was really good. I am breastfeeding and breast pumping exclusively. My goal is 6 months. If I can make it to a year, that will be great. But I like to keep my goals small just in case anything happens. So that was basically that. And I will release his name real quick for you. I'm just going to hold up a sign. I will say his name, but I will be holding up the sign so that you kind of can see the spelling and stuff like that. So my son's name is Cohen Christopher Hansen, and I loved this sign. I took pictures of him in the hospital, which I will plug a bunch of pictures, videos, stuff like that into this video. I'm just trying to do this quickly as possible, just to kind of give you guys an update for at least right now. But his name is Cohen Christopher. I will introduce you to him once I am done going through this last page right here. So yeah, so on May 21st, that was the day we went home, but I woke up, I was extremely sore. I had trouble walking. I had to have help to walk. And this is when like the bleeding started. I had to use like this spray that helped numb my tear just because it was already painful down there, but then a tear on top of it was pretty horrible. I want to say that afternoon, early afternoon, I want to say it was literally noon, my mom had brought us tropical smoothies. She dropped it off to the lobby and they allowed Logan to go pick it up in the lobby so that I didn't have to eat more hospital food, and I actually just did not really eat the tropical smoothie. I was really not feeling up to eating a whole bunch, I guess. Cohen was doing really, really good. I want to say yeah, he was doing really, really good. I think it was the night before we went home. So they had been watching his blood pressure and his heart rate and stuff, and his heart rate was pretty low. It was like in the 90s, 100s, 120s. It just kind of fluctuated the whole time we were in there, which is why it took us so long to leave. So that was horrible. I've been out of it today, so I apologize if I keep saying and stuff like that. Like I just did. Anyways, it was, I really need to work on that. It was around 5 p.m. the night before that his heart rate was really, really low. They did a blood pressure and an EKG, so they went and took him to the NICU, so I obviously got naturally worried. And they had done an EKG. Normally it's really rare that they do an EKG on a newborn like this, but they ended up having to do so just to watch and see if there was anything spiking in there, and they did end up sending that down to the specialty hospital here in Michigan. Late that night, the night before we left, he vomited his antibiotic fluid, and he did that for about 24 hours. I had no idea that newborns did that, so that is something I'll put out there, that newborns will vomit their antibiotic fluid, and you know, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just a natural thing for them to get rid of it. It's either coming out this way or it's coming out the other way. So he was doing that. I got really anxious. I called the nurse about 3 times. Just to have her come and make sure he was okay, which he was. We did go home, I think it was the 21st, or I think it was, yeah, I think it was the 21st that we had gone home. I always mix up the times and the days just because I had him so early in the morning that I forget that I was there all day on the 20th and then, you know, almost all day on the 21st. But we did go home around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 21st of May, after Cohen was cleared by the doctors. They just wanted to make sure that his heart rate was, you know, going up and it wasn't still low, because if it was, we were going to have to stay at least another night, and I did not want to do that. So once we left the hospital, we went and stayed with my mom. The first 24 hours went really, really good. I did use lots of ice packs and sitting on pillows. I mainly stayed in bed unless I had to get up. But he did really, really good. which was fantastic. He slept really, really good. He barely made a peep. And that was the first 24 hours. I had a couple friends, well, like one friend, I think, that stopped over on that day, and a couple of family members that stopped the day after that just to meet him and all that fun stuff. Yes, they washed their hands and all that fun stuff. I know how people are with the pandemic right now. I do just want to put that out there. We were safe about it. So that was the first 24 hours. Fun stuff. So I want to say at the 48-hour mark, my baby blues hit, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically when you are kind of like depressed / sad for no apparent reason. Your hormones are all out of whack. After you have a baby, they're trying to get back to normal. And I had my first episode of that at like the 48-hour mark. I was literally crying for no reason. My milk had come in, so I was in a lot of pain. So it wasn't really no reason. Like, I was in pain, but like I also really didn't know why I was crying. But my mom made me a malt that night, and they kind of let me rest and take a nap just because I was so tired and whatnot from, you know, going through labor, giving birth to him, you know, coming home. It was a lot of adjusting to do. And they kind of took care of Cohen. I was pumping a lot when my milk came in. Like, the first time I pumped, I think I got like 3.25 ounces, and that was just one side, which is awesome. But kind of like the first 2 weeks of pumping, I was getting, you know, 4 ounces to 5.5 ounces every time I would pump. So I kind of had an oversupply going on, which was good actually. I stored a lot in the freezer. It was Memorial Day that we had gone home here. I was having a lot of anxiety when as soon as we walked through the door, I think it hit me that, whoa, we're by ourselves. I'm, you know, responsible for a whole newborn, and it just kind of hit me all at once when we walked in here. I got really anxious. I was having anxiety, and I was trying to talk myself out of it. And I couldn't, so I ended up going to the bathroom and had him hold on to Cohen just so that I wasn't around Cohen when I was upset. Just because Cohen does know when I'm upset, he gets upset as well. But I did have a breakdown. Logan came in and like put a wet washcloth on my head and just kept, you know, doing what he needed to do to comfort me, which was really, really great. For a week, I want to say that this lasted, just the baby blues. But I was very sore and in pain for 2 to 2.5 weeks. I just felt like I had gotten in a really bad car accident, or like something hit me. It was really, really bad. And I just did not like it, obviously. At Cohen's first doctor's appointment, he weighed 8.5 pounds. When we left the hospital, he was 8.8. But when we went to this doctor's appointment, he was 8.5, which was great, he said, because most babies can almost lose like up to a pound when they leave the hospital, and he was still, you know, right where he needed to be. He was 8.5 pounds. He was still 22 inches. But he was diagnosed at this appointment with bradycardia, which, if you do not know what that is, that just means it's a fancy word for low heart rate. And it can, you know, take care of itself. And it has. When he was 2 weeks old, we had to have a follow-up EKG done just to send back down to the specialty hospital to make sure that everything was improving, to make sure that he didn't have to go down there. And when we went to our appointment this past week, everything looked great. His heart rate was 148 beats per minute. He was 10.12 pounds at this appointment, so he gained about 2 pounds. He was 24 inches at this appointment, so he also grew 2 inches. And his head was 38.5 centimeters, which is close to like 15 inches around. So that was great. And as of today, at 6 weeks old, he's very alert. He holds his head up very well. He's now smiling. The past week, he smiles at me, which is just the cutest thing ever. So yeah, I will kind of go into depth in my next video, you know, products that I'm really liking right now. Kind of his story. He did have baby acne, and that will be a really short video, but just to kind of help other moms out there, you know, if they need to find something that actually works, I have that for you. I also kind of want to get into like my postpartum, kind of review all of that. I want to talk about, you know, Cohen's development over the weeks. But as of right now, this is all that's going to be on this video. If you guys have any recommendations on what you would like to see, I will at one point do like a day in the life with a newborn. I'm also probably going to do like a cleaning video as well, just because our apartment is pretty messy right now, just because I'm with Cohen all day long right now. And when he naps, I usually will like do laundry, I'll do dishes. I try to keep up on cleaning as much as I can, but sometimes it just doesn't work the way I want it to. And I'm also wedding planning right now for my wedding in September. So it's just been crazy. So I do apologize for waiting so long to kind of make a new vlog. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be right back. I'm going to pick Cohen up just so that you guys can meet him and see what he looks like today. Anyways, this is my Cohen, or my Boo Boo, or Cocoa Bean, or Bean. He's got so many nicknames. But this is him today. He's a little wiggle worm, but as you can see, I'll show you. He holds his head up pretty well. He's very alert, as you can see. He's staring at the TV as it's Moana. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I will be, you know, posting a lot more often and get on top of that, so I apologize it took so long. But anyways, this is Cohen, and I will see you in the next video. What are you doing? Yeah? Tell me about it. Mommy.
Hi! Did you have a good nappy? Hi! What you doing? Hi! Yeah? 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 Hi! 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 What you doing? Did you have a good nap? Hi! What are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. What are you doing? Hi. Hi. You cute boo-boo. Hi. Good morning. Did you sleep good? Good morning. Hi. Hi. Hi, boo-boo. Hi. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, boo-boo. Hi. Hi. Hi, boo-boo. Hi. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Are you blowing bubbles? Are you blowing bubbles? Hi, boo-boo. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, boo-boo. Are those hiccups mean? You're so mean. What are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. What are you doing? Hi. Hi. You cute boo-boo. Hi. Good morning. Did you sleep good? Good morning. Hi. Hi.
There we go. Beautiful. There you go. There you go. Okay, now stop. And deep breath down again.